Yo, we are back. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my 2K24 guard build. And I know what you might be thinking, we don't have the game yet, how are you going to make your build? But I've been taking all the information from the people from Community Day, YouTube videos from people that have played the game early, tweets from 2K themselves. And with all this information I've gathered, I'm going to put together the best ISO guard build that you're going to be able to make day one of 2K24. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to have all the best information for you guys as soon as 2K24 drops. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, we are in the builder. Make sure you guys are paying attention to exactly how I'm upgrading this because I have screenshots of tweets or reasonings on why I'm doing everything that I am, and I'll make sure to explain that as I go through it. As you can see, I chose point guard because that's what you're going to pick for an ISO build, and then we're going to go on to the height, weight, wingspan. I will be going 6'6" for my ISO guard. There was a bunch of creators at Community Day that are all saying 6'6" is going to be the best for ISO guards. At this height, you're also able to get a good speed and a decent strength, which is something they also said was really important, but we'll get into that later. So to wrap up the height, weight, wingspan, I am going to go 6'6", 220 pounds with a max wingspan. And then your body shape doesn't really matter, but I prefer to go compact, so that's what I'm going to be rocking with. On to the attributes. This is going to be very important, so pay attention. I'm starting with shooting, and I'm going to go with an 80 three-pointer. You will be able to shoot with a low three-pointer this year, and with Takeover, I'll have a 90 three-pointer. So going with this rating a little bit lower will give me options to upgrade in other areas. And I will also be keeping my mid-range at 65. Now on to the playmaking. I'm going to go ahead and go 89 ball handle because that's the threshold for all the dribble moves I was using this year. I went 80 on my speed with ball, which is a little bit higher than this year because it will be tied to animations and will also give me better speed boosts. And then I went 80 on my pass accuracy, so I'd be able to unlock some of the new passing animations that are coming out. Now on to the defense. If you guys have heard anything about the game at all this year, defense is supposed to be very good. So I'm going to make sure I have high defense on my guard because I don't want to be a liability out there. So I'm going to go with 80 interior, 86 perimeter to get clamps, 85 steal, and then I'm going to max my block at 80. And then that's going to end up rounding out my defense onto the physicals. Now I'm going to be having my physicals as high as possible this year, and I'll explain that in just a second. But 90 speed, 85 excel, 77 strength, 80 vertical, and then I'm going to go 95 on my stamina. Now I'm going to pause this here for a second and pop up a few screenshots telling you guys why I'm doing what I'm doing. Starting off, gym rat is gone, so your physicals need to be as high as possible because you can't do your Gatorade workout to get +4 anymore. Next up, badges are going to be tied to attributes and physical attributes this year, so you need these physicals as high as possible in order to unlock badges. Next, this one's pretty obvious, but acceleration will be tied to your speed boost, so you want that as high as possible. Next up, this is a big one from Joe Knows. As you can see on number 4, he says strength versus speed debate. At 6'6", you can get your strength and your speed both pretty high. So I'm going to max both of those out because I think they're both going to be super important next year for badges and gameplay. Now up onto finishing, this is another place where I'm going to have to take some lower attributes because you can't have super high attributes in every category like you could in 2K23, but you are able to be pretty average according to what I've heard in most categories. With that being said, I'm going to go with an 80 driving dunk just so I can dunk when I get to the rim. Nothing crazy. And I'm going to go with an 80 layup because those seem to have gotten pretty good this year. And then closing out my attributes with 66 close shot. Overall, I think this is a super well-rounded build. And with Takeover, if you think about it, I mean, I could have a 90 driving dunk if I took slashing take, 90 three-pointer if I took shooting take. And I mean, I think you get the point, but overall, this build is going to be very solid, especially day one of 2K24. Now I know you don't have to pick your takeovers in the builder anymore in 2K24, but I think for this build I would choose double sharp just to give me that super high three-pointer because that is kind of where I was lacking. And then onto the build name over here, we're going to get 3-point shot creator, but they did say there's going to be new build names in 2K24, which is huge. Can't wait to see what kind of build names they added for next year. This is what I'm going to be rocking with on day one. Feel free to make it if you want. Make sure you're not wasting your VC on a bad build, and I will catch you all in the next one.